Passing through the gates where we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic cell. The bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates where we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic cell. The bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates where we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic cell. The bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates where we are taken to a higher realm. So no one wants to hear all that toxic sound. Ring the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Hey, bienvenido, mis hermanas y mis hermanos. Bienvenidos. Also, warhab, zamatat bu, zamat in Sabiic. You know, that means welcome, sisters and brothers. I always put my sisters first, my brothers. And then in Taino, which we're going to have a discussion about, we say, maboeka, ituno, kina atiaono. Ituno, itu, sister. Ituno, sisters, plural. Kina means and. Atiao no. Atiao is brother. Atiao. And the atiao no will be brothers. Okay? So my boy ka. Ituno kina atiao no. Warhab zamatat. Wu zamat. Okay? Bienvenido, hermanas y hermanos. And all those great greetings to you. Okay, peace, my brother. I got my and my I have my Facebook out so I can see who's commenting, so that I can definitely address that. You know what I'm saying? Just to be courteous. So this is entitled investigation. It's so important to investigate. And remember, we spoke about different dynamics, you know what I'm saying? And one of the dynamics that I'm dealing with right now is a dynamic, which is the love for your nation, the love for your nation, the love for your tongue, your language. And so you have one of the 19 courses, one of the skills is investigation. And that's very important, because you have to investigate to find out. You know what I'm saying? With the science now and the genetics, you investigate your genetic pool, or you investigate your family lineage, the history. We're in Puerto Rico. Or you investigate things. Even when you're having a conflict, you investigate the third party. Investigation. And then when it's the love for your group, your nation, your people, Boricua, we have to investigate. We got to find out. It's about knowing. It's about knowing. You know what I'm saying? Not just going on blind belief, but about knowing and having, again, using the different sciences, that's important. Historical facts, and putting those pieces together. Yes, peace. Rahubat, peace. Rahubat sama. And so, we're going to speak about that investigation. If you just give me 1 second, let me pull up some stuff and share my screen about it. Where would I find it? Let me see. Oh, brother. Click on it. I know it's here. It's here somewhere. It's here. Those lessons are here. Oh, man. Let me see. Oh, Lord. I know. Let me see. Summit meeting, Industrial Revolution. Let's go to the classes. Just give me a second. I'm going to look for it. My bad. I should have had it already queued up. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't for some reason. And then to find it. Interesting. But those are those 19 courses that we were looking at. And it's here. I have them here. I just have to find where exactly is these courses hidden. And they're here. They're here. Um, hmm. Wow, this is terrible. Yo. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh man, terrible. I should have this, and I don't see it. But we had them. We had them here, didn't we? Yeah, yeah. We had these courses. No, we have these courses here. What the hell's going on? Ugh. You know what? Let me look at it another way. Those 19 courses. And I want to just bring up and read from you verbatim about investigation. Um, I have to just apologize for this. I should have had it all queued up. I don't know. It just kind of slipped my mind, yo. I've been a little, hey, Naya al Mahdi, Rahubat, Naya al Mahdi. I'm one day going to go over the story of Muhammad Ahmed al Mahdi for those, especially of my Hispanic brothers and sisters who may not know that story, you know what I'm saying, and how it relates to us and how important is that. Man, where are my classes at? Classes. I mean, I did finish them, but this is terrible, y'all. I'll find them. I'll find them somehow. Victoria. What's up? What's up? What's up? Victoria. I have to find those classes because I wanted to read verbatim where we're going to find that at the Federation, AKF. I'm looking at this. This is the breakdown of the Federation. I'm going to one day go over that, the African Union and that Federation and how do it relates to the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? This is terrible. This is terrible. I just can't understand what happened to those 19 courses. It's like they said, whoop. Oh, so you don't want me to relate this? You don't want me to put this information out? That's not going to happen, right? I got to put this information out there. We have to. We have to. Because it's part of us growing and sharing. Here. Here I am. I'm back. Yeah, I'm having a moment over here, pressing all of these buttons. So I did find it, and I'm gonna read from you what they call investigation. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read to you. Now, one thing about investigations, right? The overview is that to identify what makes something logical or illogical is one, right? How to analyze information so you know exactly what to do to correct a situation. There's situations when you deal with groups, there's a lot of narratives out there and there's a lot of false narratives as to who we are as a people. Who we are as a people. We have to address that, you know what I'm saying? Now, the skills you need to identify the actual reason behind success and failure in all aspects of life. Investigation is very, very important when you deal with, being successful or you becoming a failure in any aspects of life. You need to investigate what am I doing? What am I doing to create these conditions in our lives? Look at the islands of Borinque. You know what I'm saying? And what are we doing? Nice hat. Looks good on me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see if anything else over here. Victoria. I don't know who this Russian person is. Looking forward to the knowledge. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let's I should bring this up. Um I'll just read it here for verbatim. Some people just like to read it, but I can send it to you. So like from day to day and to week, a person can face many unpleasant circumstances in his life. Now, I spend time on a podcast, my brothers, and my brothers are coming along very, very great, man. Very, very great. You know, True Les, Mario on their podcast, and brother Nod, who's up on here. You know, Victoria could be a testament to that, and my Sabian brothers and sisters on here on my Facebook page. You know, it's remarkable how we were able to overcome certain circumstances in our life. So somehow we managed to get through these times, convinced there is not much that one person can do to improve his life, right? But perhaps there was a project that you planned for months at work. It doesn't come off with the expected success. The production in the office has declined sharply during the past few months, or the addition to your house take longer than what you first planned. Such things happen and are common occurrence for many of us. We have gone to a situation, being locked up. We've gone to certain situations in life that didn't quite work out for us. You know what I'm saying? So investigation is important, because when you start investigating and start, that's where wisdom comes in. You know what I'm saying? You experience certain things, but you investigate. You don't repeat those same mistakes. You don't create that cycle for yourself. And the same thing just goes out to all my brothers in the island of Borinque. We have gone through so many circumstances on that island, right? We need to investigate. We need to investigate, how we can be more successful. Success. Bring those bars up of success on the island and amongst our people in our everyday life. So this investigation is interconnected to all the dynamics that we have spoken about, even to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But these don't need to be the usual type of experience that happened in your life. You can live a happy existence and accomplish your goals in any area of life. I gotta constantly tell this to myself. You know what I'm saying? People that know me personally know me. I go through some struggles myself. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? As I'm growing, I have to look at people around me, so I have to share certain things and hope that they're growing with it also, because if not, they could bring you down. You know what I'm saying? Those suppressive personality around you could bring you down, so you got to be very, very careful. So, you can accomplish your goals in any part of your life, like individually, with your family, your job, your community. The aims you imagine for yourself can be accomplished. The aim we establish for our community, the aim we establish for our nation can be accomplished. If such goals are not being attained, and if you're not in a situation that has gotten worse, there is an actual cause of this that can be discovered. If you're in a situation that has gotten worse, then there's an actual cause for this that can be discovered. Normally, this idea is one that people often do not realize. Things are actually caused. It's caused. In the Kabbalion, what we call the sacred wisdom of the Huti, they have the cause and effect. It's one of the principles that is being taught as Hermetic science. Caused is very, very important. They don't just happen. There are reasons behind every unpleasant and difficult circumstance. So there's causes as to why the island of Borinque is in the situation where it's at. There's a cause why in our community was destroyed and why prison became part of our life. You know what I'm saying? There are causes for all of this. We have to recognize that. Reasons that you can, and these are reasons, these causes, difficult circumstances, reasons that you can do something about it. You can do something about it. You don't have to be complicit. You can make the change. I constantly, Rahul Bad, my brother Min, constantly those changes become my reality. You know what I'm saying? It's a bot. Hey, bro, you're heading somewhere that, I just got a video about a lot of that stuff that I want to share with you one day. Nah, this is crazy shit. Talks about the agenda, what's going on now. And this lady broke it down. She broke it down biblically and broke it down ancient Kemetic. She broke it down all around. You know what I'm saying? So there's solutions. And that's investigative work, you know. Without knowing this, man often depends on the belief that magic or luck have the power to have influence on his life. Somebody out there sitting on a throne going poof and can change your life. There's a magician, that luck, and looks to studying the stars to determine his future, actually thinking that the movements of the planet and the stars can tell him what will happen in his life. That is a science. Astrophysics, looking at the positions of the stars, looking how the solar system is. Like we have the great big conjunction, the reset. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, animals, insects mimic what of the stars and how is the movement, and also the movement of the first humans, the Homo sapiens and the Homo erectus and the Homo habilis, and their movements. You can see that movement, the expansion. Also, you can see this happening within the stars. None of this is based on reason or knowledge, though. Some of it, you know, astrophysics, there are some knowledge in it. Many people just hope vainly, but this is talking about people that just take these sciences and create other sciences, like astronomy, and they create astrology, and they think that that's going to change their life, but they don't understand that's not astronomy, that's astrology, totally different. So they vainly hope, unlikely to have a desired result, that nothing else will go wrong. And they mislead themselves with the belief that life is normally a struggle, and that's just the way it is. We're put on here to struggle. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of biblical narrative. We're born of sin. We're here to struggle until you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord, and nothing's going to happen in your life. You know, that's what I talk about. Hope, belief, vainly, without, you know, knowing, and that's just the way it is. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way life is, right? It is what it is, right? You hear that narrative. For example, a farmer with a very poor crop one year has no explanation for it that makes sense. He has no idea that he himself caused that condition. However, if you were to look into it, you will find that the farmer had earlier failed to keep seeds safe for the spring planting. And so the seeds were harmed by insects. Not realizing this, he might come up with all sorts of odd reasons and just blame it on bad luck. You see how that works? Oh, it's just bad luck. You know, odd reasons. And start and their minds start making things up. You know, and then they start reaching out for that being in the throne, has a buttock sitting on the throne going poof, a magical wand and going poof. He has a long beard, long hair, and poof, make everything all right. You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm getting at this? Here's another example. In a factory with a low production, the manager is moving personnel, hiring new workers, etc. In an effort to increase production before the factory is bankrupt, he's hiring. He think that's gonna make stop the factory from being bankrupt. But the manager might not have the skills needed to realize and examine how the factory is working to find the actual cause of the low production. If you inspect the factory, you can discover that the supplier of its raw materials refuses to deliver because the office that handles the factory's financial matter wasn't paying the bills. You can always find the cause of things. That's investigative work. Always a cause of things. To look into, handle, and improve any situation like this is an area of life requires skill in investigation. Investigation, the ability to think in a reasonable or sensible manner and get to the actual cause of the problem. Houston, we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So we have to think reasonable, sensible. We got to find a sensible manner to get to the actual cause of any problem. And we can do this with the island of Borinquen also. and we can do this in our community, is you investigate and you find the actual cause of the problem. And this interlocks in with what they call conflict. Remember, conflict is not just two people having conflict, it's a third party. Somebody in the cut is a third party, and you got to expose that. That's the cause. It's the third party. It can be another person. It could be an organization. You know what I'm saying? It could be a narrative. There's a third party, and we have to expose that. So investigation is the careful discovery and sorting of facts. In investigating, you are searching out and examining the details of something in an attempt. So you're searching out, you're examining. Hold on one second. Hey, Papi, how was school? Good? All right. Searching out and examining the details of something in an attempt to learn the facts, especially in an attempt to find a cause. You're having conflict with your brother. You're having conflict with something on the internet. You know what I'm saying? With your lie. You're having a conflict. Well, you got to expose the third person. You got to find the cause. You got to do the investigative if you want to reconcile with your brother. You know what I'm saying? We have this conflict. We have this thing going on in the island of Borinquen. Well, we have to expose the third party. We got to find the cause of that problem. You know what I'm saying? When you do a proper investigation, you find out the actual cause of the problem that you are facing. For example, in any organization, you can observe that its production was down. This is not a good situation. It should be investigated and the cause located. Investigation can also be used in your own personal life to improve your conditions. You can improve your conditions. You know what I'm saying? So when doing an investigation, you should be asking the question, what don't I understand? What's going on? Why I don't understand and seek that out concerning the existing conditions that you want to handle. You will find that two facts don't agree. Two facts don't agree here, right? Meaning they are different and make it impossible for both to be true. So you can't understand them. I just posted on my Facebook. And one day I'm going to play it on here and you can examine how this conflict, I had a discussion with a Christian pastor and you can see this playing out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to understand and I know where he's coming from because, I come from a family, very Christian. I come from that school of thought. So I know I'm very well versed in that. But he doesn't have any verses of the Taino culture and he doesn't have any verses of the Nile Valley. So there's a difference. So you try to make sense out of these two facts. You question these two facts and you will get another point you don't understand. When you try to get this point understood, you will now find another fact that you don't understand. Ain't that something? And someplace along the way, you will find the actual reason and the cause for the circumstances you are investigating to expose that third party. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Oh man, my grandson was asking me something here. And I'm not gonna stay too long. I don't want to bore anybody with this, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, when doing investigation, you should be asking the question, what do I understand? Any investigation you progress this way, you progress this way. Continue to ask questions every time something doesn't make sense. When something don't make sense, it's okay. It's test the spirit. Hey, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. You're giving me a history of an island, and it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So we have to expose the third party, the organization, who's giving this information out, right? And we have to make sense of it. We got to find the cause behind it. Sometimes many questions have to be asked. Sometimes it only takes a "what is that noise?" question to lead you to the source of a difficulty. Here's an example of an investigation done quickly due to having an emergency situation. An engineer is on duty in a ship engine room. Having been an engineer for many years, he uses experience when he observed this area. He hears a hissing sound that shouldn't be there. He's alert. He's aware. There's a hissing sound, something opposite to what is normal condition as in an engine room. Where's this coming from? He rapidly looks over the area, does not see anything that isn't normal except for the small white cloud. Now the engineer combines what he sees with what he hears and moves towards the white cloud to get a better look. He sees a valve has broken, so immediately shorts off the steam line, a system of the pipe that's carrying the heating and the power of the ship, and the hissing stops. And if you were, you find a poorly functioning part of an organization and whatever you are investigating, and then you find something that you don't understand about it, and then you ask a question of the people in that area connected with the problem. You look into the area to get more information. By following these steps in this order, you find that the cause of the problem, which can be handled so the area works properly again. In an organization, in a tribe, right? In a nation, you can apply just these small steps over and over again, and it will actually be enough to keep it running very smoothly. Running smoothly. You got a lot, we belong to a lot of organizations. We belong to a lot of working conditions, to a nation, you know what I'm saying? So in order to actually move smoothly, we got to take those steps. And one of them is statistics. So I'm not going to keep going on here because I just want to go right onto the Taino thing. But next time I'll keep reading. Let me see. I'm almost done, but there's a graph here that I will show. Now, this is a long discussion. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you all for hanging in there. Marcus, thank you. Thank you, everybody that's watching here so far. Yes, Zay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother, yeah. I forgot to say that also. Assalamu alaikum, akhi, my brothers. So, this is investigation. Los Vas, what's going on, bro? This is investigation, very, very important. You have to ask the question, you got to test it. So in our lives, we got to do that. Even with our religious beliefs, or our religious the way we rock in religion, even in Islam, there's certain questions. Because if you look into Islam and you see those, and it's separated, you got Sunni, Shiites, Ahmadiyya, you got many different sectors in Islam. So you got to ask the question, like Muhammad said, all of them gonna go to hell except for one, which is the true one. You got to ask the question, and then you have to follow the investigation, and go on and on if you into that, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, some Muslims follow hadith, and they're stuck on hadith. Like the Sunni, they're stuck on the Sunnah. Hadith, that's it. But then the actual text of the Quran, they're not investigating it. They're not making the connections. They're not investigating that. So that's where the problem comes in, even within the Islamic world. In Christianity, the same thing. There's so many, not from PR, but like to learn the history. Yeah. All right. I'm going to give you a little bit of history of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I was speaking, that you could take into any, the Black Israelite paradigm, du'as for the family in the Bronx. You could take it into that. Again, test the spirit, do the investigation to be knowledgeable and to know instead of just simply believing. Get out from the car and examine the wheels. Make sure they're not loose. That's knowing. That's investigation. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. And so now let's investigate the island of Borinquen for my brothers and sisters out there. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can say this. We have a brother by the name of Casimar Mucaru. He's a cacique. Cacique means chief. Cacique. Casimar Mucaru. His name is Roberto Mucaru Barrero. He sits on the seat of the United Confederation of Taino people, all right, in the United Nations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in the General Assembly, they sit on there. He's recognized, we're recognized by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, which doesn't all matter in anything, but, there's representation. And the reason why that happened was because they were taking a lot of artifacts from Puerto Rico. A lot. And it was found in, man, I went, when I was working with Sony Latin, there was this man called Pat Armstrong, and I went to his office, and we was doing the work with Sony Latin, right? And certain groups, we wanted to bring tempo in, certain and Spanish people in control. That time, we wanted to bring Daddy Yankee. We want to bring in these artists through there to Sony Latin. Well, I was sitting in his office, and he points to this artifact, and he told me, "You see that? I got that from Puerto Rico. That's an ancient Taino artifact that I have here in my office as a paperweight." And I'm like, "Yo, that's our ancestors. That's our legacy. Artifacts binds us to a culture." And he has it in his office like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So what the United Confederation of Taino People, what they did was to organize themselves. And now they went around the world to collect those artifacts that belongs to the island in the museum on the island. Those artifacts belong to the island. That's one of the initiatives of the Confederation of Taino People. So I suggest that you Google it up, the United Confederation of Taino People under Mukaru, and register. You can register on there. You get your ID, and you tell your lineage from the island of Borinquen, and your tribe affiliation. If you're from the island of Borinquen, your tribe affiliation will be Boricua. That's a tribe. If you from what they call Santo Domingo, your tribe affiliation is Quisquia. That's a tribe. And then you got Cuba. You have many different tribes within the Taino. And you got to see some of the seminars, because his brother been doing that since the early 80s, and developing our nation in that particular, world of Native Amerindians or Native Americans, and from the Caribbeans. And very interesting what he says. When we said ourselves the word Taino, the word Taino, first of all, is plural. You got to know. Taino meant to a Boricua, a Caribo, Boricua. It meant, when he says, tú eres Taino, that means what beneficial, what skills that you can benefit this community. If you were Taino, you had to have skills to benefit that community. Deep, deep, deep definition of the word Taino. People don't know that. People don't know Taino, which means the way of benefiting your community. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll drop words here. There is a dictionary of Taino words. Google that. There's brothers out there that did the work and formed a dictionary. We're losing it because, again, the island has been, with the Iberian Peninsula, and we're speaking of Moorish Latin, which is okay. You know what I'm saying? It's good. We just speak that language. And now English. A lot of people on the island speaks English. You know what I'm saying? No, peaceful. Yeah, what skill, something that's beneficial to the community will be considered peaceful. You know what I'm saying? What peace can you bring? What peaceful experience can you bring to the community? That's what it meant, Taino. And then, like I said, there's a dictionary, a Taino language dictionary. You know what I'm saying? I need to pull that up one day. I'm going to research it. I had it, I lost a lot of stuff because I changed my computer. But I'm going to revisit it, a lot of those stuff that's in the cloud, and I'm going to pull it out because you have a dictionary. And that's why I learned words like hahum means thank you, hahum. And also atiao, brother, atiao, my brother, right? Atiao, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? And we're like maboika, welcome, maboika, And there's many words, many words, you know what I'm saying? And then it's interesting in the definition, and the brother breaking down, for instance, yukahu. Yes, yukahu. Juka. That juka is very, very, the Taino were cultivators of the juca, because the juca, what they saw and they call the force of nature called jucahu, because they understood that the juca, right, with its branches, it's a root that grows in the ground, but it takes the energy of the sun, right, that energy, and is able to convert it into sugar, you know what I'm saying, and energy in his vines, and that's the juca. So they call that power jucahu. In other words, you connecting to the energy of the sun, the most high frequency, those energy of the sun in you, in your solar plexus, right, to create your roots. And I have spoken about that before, though those starches. I have spoken about that before, about the energy centers that we have that comes from, again, the sun, because the sun is a star. We're star stuff. So we have phosphorus, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, sulfur. All of this are substance of a star or a sun, and we have it in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? And we can get it from things like yuca. You know what I'm saying? And many some vegetables in the island of Borinquen. You know what I'm saying? So agriculture has been always the Boricuas, or what they call it, the Tainos, the people that were very peaceful, and the Boricua, Quisquia, that culture, they were agricultural. They were very, very agricultural. You know what I'm saying? They understood agriculture very well. They were very, very advanced in agriculture. And then some were fishing, so they knew about the sea, the oceans. And then, of course, it wasn't until the Spaniards came and introduced the khinsar, the pig, khinsir, in Arabic, or the pig, right? The boar. When they introduced that, we started eating that. But they're saying that we were eating the chupacabra. That's another. Yeah. The hurricane goddess, Huracan, right? The Kang, the great Kang. They understood that it was a spirit, because when you look at the word spirit, you're seeing stir it, a spherical. It moves round. So when you see a hurricane, it has an eye, and then around it, it's spherical. It moves like that, right? They understood that to be spirit. So if you take a cup and you got water and you go like this, right, and you create that funnel in it, you're giving it spirit. You're giving it a movement, a particular character and personality. So they understood this. So they call it Kang. And believe it or not, Kang is a Mande word. So we're going to talk about the connection between Mande, African tribes coming into the Caribbean way before Christopher Columbus, and amalgamating, and words being exchanged, bro. Right? A whirlpool, right? So the hurricane is like a whirlpool, right? So the hurricane is like a whirlpool. That's a spirit. Spiritus, stir it, a spirit. Spirit, stir it, interchangeable. You stir it. It's being stirred by the forces of nature. And so they understood that. So they named that Kang, the great Kang. You know what I'm saying? Huracan. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you get that from. About eating each other? No. They were tribes. Because remember that when you look at, and I'm just answering questions, and it's great. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all in that whole, paradigm, the thought of the Tainos and the Boricuas and the Quisquillas and the Haiti and the Cuba, which is Guayacan or Guayacan or Cubayana. You know what I'm saying? Those names, Cuba stood to his name, Haiti stood to his name, and Quisquilla Bola, which is splitting of Haiti and Santo Domingo, and then Boricua, Borinquen, Borinquen, Boricua. So we still have those terms and those words that we refer. But now, about eating, you know, have you seen that movie Epileptic that Mel Gibson did about the Mayans? Those were Mayans, right? Mayans. There was a problem in Latin America, especially with the Mayans, you know what I'm saying, when they dropped their frequency and they started practicing cannibalism. So remember, the Mayans also spread out. They have found Mayan artifact in those islands, Quisqueya and also in Borinquen. There was a trade. These Mayans. Matter of fact, the Mayans, Maya means illusion. The Mayans were ousted out of. That's why you don't see no more Mayans out there. Very few shoes of them. They were ousted, and you know where they went to? To Korea. Korea and Vietnam. They were ousted on boats and kicked out of this area because they were practicing cannibalism. Right now, you go to Korea and you go to certain area in Vietnam, they still practice cannibalism, and you can see some of the building structures, right? The temple resemble that of the Mayan temples, you know, and the Mayan gods and stuff like that. So they were ousted. So what happened is these Mayan, as they went and they were kicked out, they were on boats and they left. You know, and remember, during that time with the continental shift, the Atlantic Ocean wasn't as big as what it is now. So they were able to kick them out, right? But as they were going, yes, some of the Mayans mixed in, amalgamated with some of the tribes, the Tule tribe from Brazil, and the Taino, the Boricua and the Tainos came from what they call the Oroconso River in Brazil. When they made it, you know, and some of these Caribs, they became Caribs, and yeah, they were those that were cannibal. They practiced cannibalism, and so there are instances and writings that you find in the book in Africa, in the Americas, that Christopher Columbus, them letters that they wrote back to Spain, and that the Tainos there in Cuba and in Borinquen, which is called Guanicas, and Haiti, and those places, they were saying, yeah, there are some crazy mothers out there. They'll cut you up. Matter of fact, they have found some people with bite marks and cheeks taken out. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit was happening. But remember, you know, that was, you know, and I believe, not that I believe, but there is some studies that all of that, what happened to the Mayans, happened to be certain plants that they were ingesting and made them cuckoo, not having any consideration for human flesh. As a matter of fact, if you go to Bolivia, la cocaína, don't think, you know, they chew on the coca, you know, they sedated their body, that they were able to do things to their body and not feel it. Not feel it at all. You know? And you go into Brazil, there are plants out there that they take and paralyze. You don't feel shit. And in voodoo, they also have practiced that they ingest and they make this concoction that make you a zombie. You don't feel anything. They sedate you. They do that in the hospitals today. That's science. You know, sedate you. So that was a problem when they started ingesting a lot of. Yeah, well, you know, some books say that, yeah. I mean, that's a good tactic. You know, you think it's fear tactic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, they're coming across people that they knew about, but they knew that it was a different situation. So, you know, I can see that. You know, I don't discredit or discard any, as long as, you know, you bring it in and it makes sense, and you can bring some primary sources and some sense. So yeah, that is mentioned in the letters from Harvard University. That is mentioned in those letters, that some of those Hispanic conquistadores, they also took into account that, yo, people could scaring the hell out of us. Is this a ploy for them to scare us? because they weren't experiencing this. You know what I'm saying? Or if anybody experienced it in the Caribbean, they didn't live to tell the story. People just disappear. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, right now in Vietnam and yeah, in Vietnam there's tribes that when they're dead, when the ancestors die and they're dead, they serve them as a plate, and people start eating their flesh. Oh yeah, same practice that was practiced amongst the Maya. Yeah, yeah. Guyana, yeah, until they hit Guyana. Yeah, yeah, that's a Taino also. So the Confederation of Taino people involves Guyanese, Jamaica, wherever the Tainos were, the Siboney from Cuba, those tribes, wherever those tribes, Guyana, and also into Brazil, stretches out into Brazil. Yeah. So you have the representative of those different tribes. You know what I'm saying? Within the United Confederation of Taino people. So I suggest, you get your seal, raised seal of that, saying that you're a member and you register. So you never know. You never know. Because now with the global reset, there's a lot of wealth out there that belong to the people, and there's wealth out there that belong to the Caribbean people. Things are changing. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you in the community, that when this wealth come through, to build the roads, because right now the political system, right now things are dire straight. Right now they're having a big problem, economic problem. So you see some places where they still have trucks coming in, but then you see places that you don't have trucks coming in. This whole pandemic, I call it, this whole agenda, right? This whole agenda has shut down their very economic base and their economic financial industries. So there's a reset. The land do need its owners back. And you know what? It does have its owners back. It's just things takes time. You know what I'm saying? Things take time. Not to disregard the European Union, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But, it's like, yeah, we were deemed, it's like they said, when you go into court, you become ward of the court. You can't even pass a certain section, and you can't even speak to a judge who have your life. You know what I'm saying? You ward of the court. We were deemed that. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't speak on the land. There's a lot of things we couldn't do, even in Puerto Rico. That's what we did the conversation about Borinquen. We couldn't speak on certain things. And even in Haiti, even though they're independent, in Cuba, even with Cuba, there's certain things that because you have, because of when what is it? What they call the Big Bear, Theodore Roosevelt, was it? He was the one that instituted the policing of the Western Hemisphere, the big stick and the police. That the United States corporation under that president, he put out that initiative that we are now the police of the Caribbeans and that of the Western Hemisphere. We're the police. We're on guard here. You can't do nothing if it ain't coming through us. Those days have changed. And all that stems from the European, the British. But all of that has changed. Look at Barbados. Barbados don't want nothing to do with the Queen. They kicked her out. That's it. You got no involvement here. And there's a lot of countries that are following suit. Because it's, again, we're the owners of this land. And we have to take that responsibility. It's the reason why I can't always stress a lot of these courses, because we have to learn from within and then without. Yesterday in the class, sister got a little kind of heated with me, but I told her, because she would say, no, you got to take it good. I tell her, look, if I'm good, my family is good. My community is good. My people are good. My humanity is good when I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's not selfish, because you're involving. You're not separating that you are part of the all. You are part of your nation. You're part of your people. You're part of your family. So if you're good, if I'm good here, my brothers that I spend a lot of time on these podcasts, and that I'm waving to everybody. Everybody that comes on, your support. If I'm good, you're good. And when I have it, I share. You know what I'm saying? I visit Cash App. Boom, toma, un par de pesito aquí, par de pesito aquí, par de pesito. As a matter of fact, I know people that do give. You don't have to, but I do people that do. So just so that they do, there it is. But if I'm good, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's learning about the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? And then when something is not good, I need to investigate. If I know that I got a problem in my life, my financial, something is going on, I need to investigate. I need to find the cause of it. If I'm spending too much money on something that is insignificant, the other time I was like, yo, why my account boom, boom, getting? And I found out there's stuff that I had subscribed that I don't even use, and I'm still subscribed, and they're taking out money from my account. And I'm like, yo, I don't even use this site. I don't even do this. You know what I'm saying? This costs money. Every month I do the most cheapest one, the $25 a month that I gotta pay for StreamYard in order for me to run my certain things, and I run it simultaneously. I could pick three sites, but I only use 2. But when it comes to a point where it doesn't become financially suitable, so there are apps and stuff that I'm subscribed to. I'm like, yo, I don't even use that. But then I was finding out that it's being taken from my account. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm just getting a little abusive here. You know what I'm saying? So investigation to finding the cause of it. You know what I'm saying? So that I can replace it, repair it. So then I say, I'm good. I investigate. I find the cause of things that is creating a bad situation for me. If I'm good, and I find that, and I'm good, everyone else around me is gonna be good. Everyone else around me is gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. That's the way it works. You know what I'm saying? So that's brother. That's brotherhood. That's that the questions and when in Freemasonry they ask, are you your brother's keeper? Hell yeah, my brother's keeper. It's the reason why we come into this lodge putting our hand, and I can't reveal certain things, but it's not. A lot of this you find in Dunkin' rituals. You can go to Barnes and Nobles and pick up Dunkin' rituals or order more light. It tells you all these rituals. It's the experience that you have behind these rituals. That's the secret. So yeah, I'm my brother's keeper, man. I got my hands on him, and I'm holding hard to him, and I'm going through the things of life with him. You know what I'm saying? Because we're our brother's keepers and our sisters' keepers. You know what I'm saying? Sisters and sisters, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Just using that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so investigation. So in the Taino, again, you know what I'm saying? There's a dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Where you can learn more Taino words, which I'm starting to embark. Let me see. I always notice when it's positive, people don't support. When negative, they come in by that. Well, yeah, because of the conditions. We're being, 20% of humanity, 20% of people 20% are suppressive personalities. You know what I'm saying? So you vibe over that. And a lot of people also, they're smart. They understand that pain or negativity is offset by positivity or by pleasure. The more pain you experience, there's going to a point that you're going to experience pleasure after that, right? The more fun you have, the more pleasure you have, more fun, the more pain you're going to get. So we know we have to be balanced. We know how that works. That's how you have some negative brothers out here, but always have positive situations. But they understood that balance, man. So I'm not telling anybody to be negative to get a positive. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you could just be balanced. And it's true. Your paradise can be somebody else's hell. So we have to be very careful how we move and create our heaven. Because that could be somebody else's hell. Our hell is somebody else's paradise. We experience that. We've been through hell. In the island of Borinquen, that hell that we experience, political, right? It's somebody's heaven. There's people that made a bag off of that. There's people that became wealthy. There's people that conditions were immaculate, they positive. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this Russian stuff, but hey, I have to. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's understanding how nature works, which I'm going to one day explore that, with everybody. how nature. Those are laws of nature. Those are laws of nature that exist. That the law of blood lineage. That's another. There's certain laws that we can really get into. But anyway, so to my brothers and sisters out there, you know what I'm saying? Wherever you find yourself, man, understand. If I'm good, you're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Humanity is gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? If I can find the cause and expose certain things without being so detrimental to another people, you know what I'm saying? You have to be aware of that too, because there's right racism and there's wrong racism. Right racism is being proud of who you are. A racist is like a pianist plays a piano. Race is about his race. And nothing wrong with that. It's just when you start going into another race and downtrodden and hurting that other race, that's when you get wrong racism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your paradise could be somebody else's hell. Yeah. And your hell could be somebody else's paradise. That's a fact, Zayd. That's a fact. And I think the Quran even mentions that. I'll find it for you, the surah. But yeah, that's deep. That's deep. These are axioms and these are laws. Laws, natural nature laws. You see, I'm a natural scientist. Prejudice means to prejudge somebody. That's right. That's wrong racism. When we want to judge somebody, but you prejudge them that you already don't even give them a break for them to state their claim. You know what I'm saying? That's prejudgment. That's being prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? But being proud of who you are, right? And understanding the dynamic of group and nation, understanding that dynamic, that it does not cause a detrimental effect to the other dynamics, like the dynamic of humanity, you're good. There's nothing wrong with that. You're good. That's not prejudice at all. That's not prejudging anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand the dynamics, and that's a very important dynamic and urge that we have to survive, preserve who we are. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that it can shift wrong part is that if it creates a situation to one of the other dynamics. I mean, you can love your people so much, but in loving your people so much, you're not taking care of yourself. You ain't taking care of your hair. You ain't taking care of the way you drip. You ain't taking care of yourself. You ain't representing well your people. You know what I'm saying? You're missing in that dynamic. So it works like that. You're not taking care of your family. Okay? That's a poor example for your group and your nation. So all these dynamics are interconnected, right? And as long as it's not detrimental, right now, there's nothing wrong with being proud without putting others down. Facts. That's the way it is. Don't put anybody else's urge to survive on that dynamic down. What's up, my brother? True, Les. Cariño, peace. Don't put other people down, because you don't want to. You know what I'm saying. You want to create. We as Boricuas, our character, our personality. We want to create the best character, personality, because we have always contributed to humanity, right? We understood that dynamic, and that's the way we got to walk. Be proud of who you are. At the same time, understand and being proud that I am. I'm not going to down no other people at all, because they have a right to be proud of who they are, just as long as they don't downtrod me, right? Just as long as you don't shame me. You know what I'm saying? And it works like that with all groups. You know what I'm saying? Is that don't shit on me, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't shit on me, because then you're gonna throw shit on the fan and you're gonna get it all over the place, and then you're gonna get that also. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one of the important dynamics. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get out of here in a few, but I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody coming through. You know what I'm saying? So just look at this again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm your brother. At the end of the day, I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? It's something, again, if there's something that's conflicting and there's something that you don't agree, we're going to expose a third party because we got to understand what organization that I'm receiving information from and you're receiving, and we got to expose that, and we got to see how we can reconcile. Because at the end of the day, man, it's all about humanity. And then, that humanity and natural nature. You know what I'm saying? Natural nature. That sustains us all. All these dynamics works like that. That's natural nature sustains you. So you got to get to know. It's like you got to get to know your mother. You got to get to know. You know what I'm saying? It's law. You get to know your mother. You get to know what are the laws, the rules and regulations in that household. Because if you don't, you're going to run into problems, right? Mother Nature, same thing. You got to know his laws, the rules and regulations to nature so that you don't fall into this belief and fall into problems. You know what I'm saying? That happened to us when we became, people had used our sacred science against us because they took it, they hijacked it, rebranded, and fed it back to us and put us into slavery. It was easy. It was easy for people to do that. Zay, you say you want to come through? I can do it real quickly. I'm not gonna stay here too long. Chu said no. I don't know what's going on, but I can put the link up in here. Let me see. I don't do that often, but yeah. I can put the link on here. Let me see how you do this. Copy link. And anybody that wants to come in who keeps it respectful, again, have your camera on, keep it respectful and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not gonna stay here too long. But if you want to come through, I'm gonna put it here and pull up, right? Put up, say whatever you got to do. There you go. There goes the link. If you want to come through, just say, greet your brothers and sisters, and at the same time, give your outtakes, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Any questions and stuff, whatever you want to do. I don't do this much, but hey, there you go, Zay. I'll bring you up in a minute. There you go. This is my brother Zay. And you want to say, Assalamu alaikum. Let me see. Hey, you there? I'm trying to see. Where are you? I'll put you in. I'm there. I don't understand. I pressed it, but you're not showing up in here. Maybe it takes time. I don't know. I don't do this much. Okay, Papi, that's true. I'm gonna probably come onto your live. Okay, thank you. Now, I got Zayd up in here, but I can't see him. I don't know what's going on. A minute. I don't know what's going on. Zay, I don't see you, papi. Hold on a second. No te veo. Okay, you went back out. So it could be something, I don't know. Oh, I'm talking to True. All right, there you go again. Let's try this again. Add to the stream. I keep adding you to the stream, but you're not showing up. I don't know. Is there something that's going on here that I don't know? But I keep adding you to the stream. I've done this before because I had, interviews. I've done interviews before. So yeah, it doesn't show up in here. Yeah, you keep going off. But again, I'm not gonna stay here too long. But Zaid, I appreciate you very much. You know what I'm saying? Very appreciated. And we're gonna speak about the Islamic, life, because that's also part of the Iberian Peninsula. The Berbers were Arabized, and so when you go into the island of Borinquen, you do find artifacts, you do find alabazas, the morro alabasa. So you see this Islamic, because the Iberian Peninsula in the southern part with the Berbers who were Arabized, and those tribes went in there. They created Alhambra means red, the red fortress. Alhambra means red fortress. So we see this playing out. You know what I'm saying? Alhambra, the red fortress, was also when you deal to shrine, the shrinery. And people know, about my Freemason connections and my connection with the shrines, the mystic order, Arabic mystic order. But I wasn't a shriner. I didn't get to that part, but I had. Yeah, I'll kiss again. I'm having trouble getting in next. Okay, yeah, Zayed. That's all good. But yeah, your shrinery, in the shrine, and then also the Freemasonry, which comes out of the shrine. And those shrines, Berbers, those shrines in Fez and Morocco, you know what I'm saying? You could see it with the Hamshiite, right? You know say that? Hamshiite. Well, there is a secession, what they call a Sicila. There is a secession, you know what I'm saying? And when the Europeans went into Morocco, into the city of Fez, and seeing these rituals and stuff, they copied it. They were given to certain degrees for them to practice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on the Prince Hall. Most of we made the connection back into ancient Kemet, 54 AD. Our charter will go back 54 AD with what they speak about in the biblical text, Nimrod or Sargon with the Semitic. Okay, your phone, I got you. And so, we'll speak about that. One day I'll bring in Zayed and we'll have a conversation about that. You know what I'm saying? And gaining of genetically, lineage-wise, of how we were able to take on these schools of thoughts that came from the Islamic world, which is also part of us. It's part. You see it in our language. You see it in the Hispanic is Moorish Latin. Words like pantalon in Arabic, pantalon, camis, it's camisa, Spanish, camis. There's many, many words that I've used, even in English, algebra, you know what I'm saying? Allegory. Yeah. Usually when it's al in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, is usually you can trace it back to the phonetics, you can trace it back to Semitic. You see it back to the Semitic. So I've done a presentation about the Mande script, you know what I'm saying, the Mande people, the Mali Empire, and when they also became Arabitized also. They became Muslims and Arabitized. And the connection they have with, with the Semitic, the Afro-Semitic people. We have lineages also of Afro-Semitic people mixed in with Tainos, and the mixing with the Tainos was happening before even Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm saying? We have that, with the Iberian Peninsula and stuff like that. And then some of us, depending where we at, we might have Dutch, we might have Victoria. I just read a lot and I just love to have conversations and converse. But we, yeah. So, it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm resonating. I think with the time that I experienced being 5 months in the hospital, really, when I came out of there, it's like my mind was so clear and everything was just poof that I've learned. Because I've been studying. I've been teaching. Believe it or not, I've been teaching for 41 years. Since I was 18 or 19 years old. I was teaching. Going out into the streets with books. Teaching, conversing with people and teaching 41 years. Oh, she have Lebanese and Dominican. My father Haitian. Ooh, nice mixture there. That's deep. Let's just discuss that one day. That's very, very deep. And I'm honor and pleasure, bro. I'm honor and pleasure. It's an honor and pleasure. Definitely. That's a good combination right there. It's like Shakira. I like her. She's Lebanese and Colombian. Shakira. You know what I'm saying? And I met a brother from the island of Borinquen when he did his DNA, showed her Lebanese. He didn't know that. And he was like, I got Lebanese genetics. I was like, whoa. So many things, you know what I'm saying? With science, we could find out things about us, But yeah, I've been 41 years, man. 41 years learning and teaching, you know what I'm saying? And I think just now, that now it's just time, to share and relate, because we're living in that world right now. It's time, again, like I always said, time to stop the bullshit. Time to get real. You know what I'm saying? I can't hold back certain things, even though I have tolerance for people's differences, and I always be careful as not to offend them or disregard them. But I'm like, yo, if you're gonna come, you gotta come correct. Again, remember, you work from the streets. You gotta come correct, bro. You gotta come freaking correct, and you gotta make sure that that knowledge you bring is gonna be beneficial for all of us. Because if it's not, you're gonna get that pushback. You're gonna get that pushback. Oh, thank you very much. Keep people interested. Well, anyway, I'm ready to. Yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. Here, Marcus Chestnut, Maria Berrios, my cousin, Sheshek. Bro, my eyes, bro. Hatap, yeah, and Michael Gods, Henry Setti, yeah, Hanifa Santiago. And I seen also my aunt, I think that's your mama, Nayal Mahdi. We're going to talk about Mahdi, Zay, about in Sudan, Muhammad Ahmed Mahdi. When I read that, and Hadra Ali, the son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad, oh man, the stories, bro, what a warrior. 9 years old with that long sword. There's some good stories, some warrior stories, man, that we can get into that, and I love it. Ahu Hanum Raya Ba'ah. Yes, Rawbat. That's so for my Sabian brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? And my Boricua brothers and sisters. I appreciate everybody on here. Love and peace. And again, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my time, we're gonna go and we're ready to talk about investigation. So you having problems, you gotta go to the cause. If we having problems, we gotta go to the cause, right? If humanity is having a problem right now, and it is, humanity, we got to find the cause of it, and we got to expose it. We can't be afraid to explore that, because it means our legacy. It means it just means the welfare of our legacy, our children, our next generation. You know what I'm saying? When I knew there's something going on here, when I started seeing documentaries pop up. First of all, I seen that man, the Gates guy. I don't want to mention his name, but the Gates guy coming on TED, the what do they call, the Technical and Education, conference, and he wrote down a graph of how the carbon dioxide of the planet was getting too high. But in order to bring that, he did an algebra equation. He says, in order to make this zero, one on the equal sign, the other side, one of these variables have to be zero. So he put P as, meaning population or services, and V, vaccination. So he put the graph, and he says we have to bring those down to zero. And we got to work with that, because that's how we bring the car. And then when I started seeing movies like Breaking the Boundaries on Netflix and Kiss the Ground, and my mother even hit me up on that, and I was like, yo, it just said, oh, that's what it's about. That you got people trying to preserve the planet, and you got people trying to preserve their race. You know what I'm saying? And they think by doing this, they're preserving humanity. You know what I'm saying? You got people that they do the statistic. They think like that. So we're seeing this roll out, and I'm saying, oh, and then the resetting of things. You know what I'm saying? People, now with the information now, people are not falling for those. Man, I got people in UK, a lot of people in UK coming to me and says, yo, I can't go to church and look at my this pastor the same way with the information that you and these brothers are dropping, because it's so awareness. He's saying it's what was the word that he used? It's so impactful that now I can see through their lives. I'm gonna say, but why does it have to be like that? Because I always tell them there is a true Christianity and there's a false Christianity. How can you tell the difference? What investigative work you got to do in order to find the real one? You know what I'm saying? They'll give you the image of this and that, but hey, when you put it to the test and you look at it, you say, yo, that's again, fear, false evidence appearing real. You know what I'm saying? So they hit you with fear. That's a fear, is false evidence appearing real. Yeah. Yeah. Methodism, right? The 2050 population. There's a lot. They've done a lot of studies and they've been all that. Yeah. Kabir. Gibran. What is it? The prophet. That I love those poems in there. Very deep information. Yeah. That's the whole gist of it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, peace and blessings to y'all. You can see it's getting dark. I got to put on my light and stuff. Having a little dinner. Well, peace and blessings to everybody. Love and peace. And I know that True Less is going on. Yeah, I know that's your daughter. Anifa Santiago. I know that. Peace and blessings to you and your daughter, man. Peace and blessings. Love you. I love you all, man. So yeah, blessings. Dirty Bronx native, man. Blessings. I'm just a kid from the Bronx too, bro. You know how we get down. But yeah, peace and blessings to everybody. And I know True is going to go on, and I'm going to have me a little dinner and go on this podcast. I love that brother, man. He just revealed some deep stuff to me. And he's the one that did that thing. Let me see. Yeah, let me put it up here. You know what I'm saying? Looking now. I'm going to see if I can get some music for him. And anybody who's making those kufi? Well, I do, my brother. Anybody making those kufis, like the thin kufi that we used to wear, and all in black, holla at me, because you can holla at you. You know what I'm saying? I knew some sisters that did it. I can't ask this woman to do it for me over here because she, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, peace and blessings to everybody. Peace and blessings. I love you all. I'm out. Let me play you. Well, it says welcome there, but let me play you my outro. Private chat. Okay, yeah, Zay. I understand you're having a problem getting in. I understand, mi hermano, brother. I understand. Next time. Let's do this, and I'll be out. Okay? And it says welcome in the beginning, man. But I'm saying, but I'm just using this as an outro. Peace. Passing through the gates when we are taken to a higher realm, so no one wants to hear of that toxic self. The bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates when we are taken to a higher realm, so no one wants to hear all that toxic self. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates when we are taken to a higher realm, so no one wants to hear all that toxic self. When the bell of our ancestors where it's felt. Passing through the gates where we are taken to a higher realm, so no one wants to hear all that toxic self.